jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out that more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports.
Big salute and shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. The first in the building. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck. What it do, man? What's good with you? Let's get right down to it. We have a trio today. A miscellaneous hot grease that I want to speak about that went down on one of the first fight cards, you know what I'm saying, of the 2024 season. We're talking about, it was on the 6th of January. The 6th of January, y'all. The first Saturday of 2024. We was able to see a fight card, which was hosted by the Zone, right? Matchroom. And we saw some faces there that make you think, that was making you think like, why are all these faces here? You know what I'm saying? Why is Teofimo Lopez there? You know what I'm saying? Why are some of these faces? Why is, Bill Haney there? Why is all these other individuals at this fight? So let's just start with Bill Haney and Bhop. As you all been following the news, right? It was supposedly that Ryan Garcia, who is with Golden Boy, they have this dysfunctional type of relationship that's going on. And he's supposed to be with Golden Boy, and he has sent out a tweet, letting people know that he was in negotiations with Devin Haney and he was going to make Oscar sent out a tweet, he was going to make the fight happen. But pretty much with Ryan Garcia letting the world, the boxing universe know that he's in negotiation with Devin Haney. And a lot of us was like, you know what I'm saying? Nod no head, like, okay, I got it. That's a good fight right there, no doubt. We get to tune in to a future fight. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't seem right to me. It just didn't give me that tingling sensation because we're dealing with Ryan Garcia. We're dealing with Devin Haney. I didn't quite know if negotiations will flow as smoothly as people think. That was just my take on it, right? Because you had two people that's coming in there. The Haneys are going to debate what they're worth, and Ryan is going to debate what he believes he's worth. He's going to mention a tank fight. That's how he's going to, go in there and negotiate his leverage. And then the Haneys, of course, is going to negotiate what is absolutely official on paper that he's a multi-time world champion, former undisputed lightweight division, and a WBC champion at 140 pounds. This is when it comes down to a tricky part of boxing, when it comes to the business side of things. You know, people say belts don't matter, but yeah, they kind of do in certain situations. This is one of those situations because Ryan Garcia don't have any belts. You know what I'm saying? if someone like Devin Haney has all the hardware, but yet Ryan Garcia says he has all the followers that's heading into the fight, which one really ties into boxing business? It's the money, right? So people gonna say, well, Ryan Garcia has a point because he did make this much with Tank. If you're able to gross that amount of money with the fighter, well, you have to provide yourself with a certain percentage of success, a contribution to that success, right? And that's where Ryan's coming from. On the other hand, you know, you have to look at the belts and not grade them as no value. You have to say, okay, these belts have some freaking value when it comes to negotiation. But through boxing, these fighters sit up here and dangle the carrot, man. They puppetize the freaking media. And sure enough, Ryan Garcia just recently pulled out. And he sent a tweet out that said this right here. You know, let me go back to it from yesterday. He said, I've notified my team I'm going a different route. My intent now is to fight Rolando Romero. I pray my team backs me on this decision. So when Oscar was asked yesterday about this, you know what's going on with Ryan Garcia, he still relied heavy on, pretty much reiterating that he wants the Devin Haney fight. And, Oscar ain't stupid. There's more money in the Devin Haney fight, man. There's more money in the Devin Haney fight than a Rolando fight, in my opinion. Rolando fight for Ryan Garcia is just a bit more easier to negotiate. Okay? But this is where it gets strange at. Bhop, we all know that he's with Golden Boy. You know what I'm saying? We all know who Bill Haney is. We know that. When you at an event, and obviously Bill had his wife there, he had the security, whatever, he had his team there. Now it's becoming a regular occasion that certain individuals are going to be in the same place at the same damn time. And that's what we seen last night. You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney doing the interview, and Bhop minutes later came and inserted himself into the camera frame. When Bhop came over there, you're talking about somebody who did time in prison. I mean, not just the average dude in prison. They say he was a problem in prison. And then he came out and was able to establish his legacy in boxing. He ain't nothing to mess with, when it comes to, what he was able to do as a person in general, from prison to boxing. But Bill Haney, on the other hand, is not anything to mess with either. It's these streets. They play by different rules. Real talk. The streets play by different rules all day, every day. So when I seen Bhop insert himself in the lens, I said, what does he got to say? This ain't gonna be good. I mean, this is gonna turn out bad because of the history. But Bhop has been on a rampage lately. He was, putting his hand on Tank for whatever he was trying to do. He's just been very active lately. Seriously, he's been very active. So I can see him pulling up in the lens and talking this shit. He told Bill, meet me in the bathroom and all that, right? And I'm pretty sure in prison, a lot of things that he's used to went down in the bathroom, out of the visual of any guards. I'm pretty sure some fights went down in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Bhop was in there throwing hands or whatever the case may be. But you're out in society now. You've been out here for a long ass time. No one's really going to meet you in the bathroom. And if they do meet you in the bathroom, you can almost guarantee you most of these cats today ain't fighting with no goddamn two hands. By the time you walk in there, you probably find yourself levitating. These cats ain't playing. And for what Bhop did yesterday, I just thought it was out of character. I mean, it was bullshit, period, I mean, if somebody's there with his family and all that, and you're gonna talk and say, meet me in the bathroom and making a scene. This is two black men now. And he got his peoples there. Now I don't know the history between, Bhop and Haney. I'm pretty sure there's some contentiousness there. But I just thought it was absolute bullshit to shove the man and then run away. Like, first of all, his security should have been on top of that. Bill's security. I've seen his security before. You know what I'm saying? They big enough to prevent that. But also, you're dealing with Bhop. And Bill will talk to the cameras. He talked to his media that he wants to talk to. He'll talk. So, you really can't expect him to have media right there on security right there on standby when he was doing this shit. It's just Bhop was, on the prowl. He made contact with Bill, by putting himself in the same camera frame. And then, he shoved him. Now, this is stuff that would get myself and any other average media person kicked out the building, probably relieved of any other credentials in the future. But Bhop pushed Bill like, you're talking about some older dudes. Like, Bhop is older than me. And you up there shoving somebody when they there at an event and also with his family. I'm gonna tell you point blank period, that's how people get killed. Real talk, that's how people get killed. That's how people lose their life, doing dumb stuff like that. And then, I don't know the history. I don't know what spawned, Bhop to act this way or whatever. But it was out of pocket. It was straight up out of pocket. You up there shoving a person. Like, we seen stuff like this happen before. But you're shoving a person, and then, if something ended up happening, people want to forget what they did. Like, you put hands on somebody. You actually put hands on them now. You know what I'm saying? You actually put hands on them. And you're going to be at these events. And Bhop really don't walk around with security like that. But I just thought 1,000% he was out of pocket. Because Bill was giving you the lip service that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? He was giving you the lip service that you asked for. Bhop was talking trash and Bill responded. And you can see how Bill went on alert. He said, okay, Bhop up to some bull. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me keep my eye and try to focus on this interview too. This, that, and the other. And then it came back. Some of these content creators be instigating that shit too. You know who you are. You know who you are, man. Y'all constantly be instigating this shit. And y'all guilty of instigating this shit. Real talk. Y'all guilty of instigating. Y'all want it all for views. And that's why I digress from this. Because me, I don't even care about any of that stuff, man. If I would have been right there on site, like I tell you, that video of Teofimo and Devin Haney meeting when they wasn't champions, I was right there. I got the same footage. I was right there when I followed T.O. up to where he was walking up to Devin Haney. And I didn't say shit the whole time. You had cats up there trying to instigate like it was going to be a fight or whatever. Man, come on. These content creators be instigating freaking altercations, bro. They'll see somebody that they don't like and they say, oh, who is that? I said, you and Bill Haney had a problem. What was that about? He's right there. There he goes. I mean, come on, man. Y'all be instigating shit. And mark my word, people. This is gonna mess it up for a lot of people, especially content creators. If this keeps going on like it is, somebody's gonna get hurt. When you start putting hands on people and you have to see each other in the same building at the same damn time, somebody's going to get hurt. Because you're talking about walking around a specific area. I know Bhop can handle himself. But see, a lot of dudes that understand how Bhop, what cloth he cut from, they're not going out there to box. Just like Fat Joe said when he saw Roy Jones Jr. He said, man, you see them 100 niggas out there? They ain't coming to box, Roy. And you know, he had a point. They're not going to box Roy Jones Jr. They ain't out there to box or fight. They coming to use their hand for something different. And we all know a lot of times when you on the ground from that, the referee ain't going to try to give you a 10 count. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to give you a 10 count. They're just going to call 911 because you're going to request that they do so. If this continues to go as it is at these boxing events, it's just going to mess it up for a lot of people, man. You know what I'm saying? And you content creators to be out here instigating. When you know two people don't like each other, but you see them in the same location, you say, hey, there goes so-and-so. You and him had an issue last time, huh? Did you ever find out why he don't like you? Why did that? Why is this? I mean, come on, man. Y'all need to wake up, man. You know, these cats up here instigating situations and then standing there filming all quietly when it takes place. And you said, looking at the big picture, it's a better move for Ryan to go and attempt to take Rolly's belt first. Devin Haney would be better if Ryan brings some hardware with him. That's somewhat exactly what Tio said. You know what I'm saying, Andrew? Appreciate that, bro. Let me get to Toney Weeks, and then I'm going to get to Teofimo. Well, let me get to Teofimo next. Since Andrew mentioned, Teofimo Lopez, you know, was on camera, and he was asked about Ryan Garcia's situation. And one thing I like about Tio, he always is set. You know what I'm saying? His camera time. He makes good use of his camera time when in an interview. Sometimes people say he's up there clowning, but most of the time, and I always tell people that when I spoke to him, he said, hey, some of these guys don't know how to talk in front of a camera. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to conduct themselves. And I understood where he was coming from, coming out the city and end up being a general's briefer. I briefed future and current operations, a dude from the city. And I always tell people, right, that I used to hear people speak on TV. And I used to, hear these politicians. I used to hear people speak on TV. And I was just always fascinated with the articulation of words or whatever the case may be, right? Teofimo Lopez, when asked about Ryan Garcia, he gave a very astute answer once again, and it made sense. He said it's the Mayweather effect. And isn't that what I just said last night? I said Mayweather gets a hold to Ryan Garcia. I said this last night now. Mayweather gets a hold. I haven't seen this until this morning. Mayweather is the one that was pretty much on camera talking about all the belts and this, that, and the other. But also I put it out there that Mayweather don't give a crap about what people think about him. He don't give a crap about the boxing community. They either gonna come see you or they ain't. Right now, Ryan Garcia needs a jump start in his career to basically so he can make it to the other side, so he can make this jump to the other side. He need a jump start. You know what I'm saying? He need more horsepower. And now seeing it with Mayweather, Teofimo Lopez made a very, very great point. He said it's the Mayweather effect. Just like Andrew just mentioned, it's better for him to go over there with the belt. I think it's a smart business move that he go and fight Rolly Romero. That's what he said. And that's exactly what I reiterated that Ryan Garcia was doing in the first place. I had to sit back a little bit and be patient on this Devin Haney situation. But I say, who wouldn't want to go over there and get an easy fight at a WBA title by Rolando Romero, who clearly was getting beat? People have to understand, just because Ismael Barroso won that interim title doesn't mean he's going to get an immediate shot with Rolando Romero. business, the boxing business, isn't straight up and down, cut and dry like that. If Mayweather somehow have influence in Ryan Garcia, what Teofimo Lopez said is correct. It's good for Ryan Garcia to go over there, beat Rolly, and have that WBA belt, and go and fight for unification with Devin Haney. I said that yesterday. I said that weeks ago. Why wouldn't he want leverage? So when he ended up, putting the news out, he going for Devin Haney, I said, Romero, I was on a live one time and I went and looked up the rankings. I said, hold up, let me look up the rankings. Rolando Romero's still there as a champion. Okay, I thought he was in recess. I thought he had an injury. He was in recess. You know what I'm saying? And then you hear Rolando Romero, you can't believe a word he's saying. He's saying, oh man, I ain't thinking about boxing. Don't believe that dude, bro. I even said, Romero acting like he ain't freaking worried about boxing. These boxers are always acting like children sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, they always want to make it about a circus act. Are you looking at the circus or are you entertaining in the circus? What's the deal, bro? So Teofimo talking about Ryan Garcia getting over there and fighting Rolly Romero, becoming a legit world champion, and, further increasing his appraising value going into negotiations if it happens. Again, with Devin Haney. I don't know how long Devin is going to be at 140, to be honest. But he going back into negotiations for unification at 140. And then we don't know what's going to happen with Teofimo Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Not so much with Jermaine Ortiz. But who is he going to fight next? Because, we had all this Matias turned down. Okay? So we really have no idea what's going to happen on the flip side of this. We really don't know. When I say flip side, I'm talking about the IBF and WBO. That's granting if Ryan Garcia and Rolando Romero fight each other, Garcia wins, and then revisit negotiations with Haney for even a bigger fight. So what Teofimo Lopez said was superb, concise, to the point. He made a very valid point that the Mayweather effect has Ryan Garcia going for the WBA, which is a legitimate super title, easiest route, pick up a belt, increase his leverage, and if Devin Haney is on the radar, for him to return back over to Devin Haney and make that fight for unification at 140. That makes all the sense in the world. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to Floyd Mayweather, he's saying, hey, if you're gonna be over here with me, you gotta listen to me. Let me guide you and navigate you through these waters. I know how to swim in this shit. All right, Floyd. You know, Ryan, he's out there. Yeah. So first, Floyd told him, hey, don't care too much about these fans, because in the end, they ain't gonna pay your bills when it's all over with. They're not gonna pay these bills. Do what you do, and the fans gonna have to react to what you got going on. And this is the perfect example. Ryan put out a tweet again like he did when he won the WBC interim title, and he told people he was not fighting Devin Haney. And if anybody has a problem with it, they can talk to his attorneys. You remember that? Ryan Garcia is good for this shit now. Now he with Floyd, he puts out a tweet, and he say once again to the people that he don't care about, but he always talking about Jesus Christ as Lord and Savior, I've notified my team I'm going a different route. Mine. When you take possession, I've and mine. Nobody can put this on anyone else. My intent now is to fight Rolando Romero. He's not saying Devin Haney pulled out of the fight. I know I said duck. But in this particular case, the reason why I call Ryan Garcia a duck once again is the fact that he put the word out to the boxing public that he was going the Devin Haney route. You have everybody invested in a possible fight between you and Haney, and then you about face? Oh, I've notified my team I'm going a different route. This shit is nerving, man. To those who support you heavy. This is unnerving, bro. You continue to do this stuff, and you feel that it's okay. It's a bit goofy at the end of the day, but yet it's extremely that you're basically putting your ego and your entitlement on display. But back to Tio. Tio made a very, very great point. And, Ryan Garcia and the Mayweather effect and him selecting to go the WBA route, which makes all the common sense in the world to go over there and beat Rolly. You know what I'm saying? That would be a good lead up. Rolly is good for freaking entertainment of the press and saying some dumb stuff. But in light of what we've seen recently, man, no one's going to say that Rolando is going to be the one to go in there and shock Ryan Garcia. They're going to have Ryan Garcia winning this fight. I don't know if he's going to win it easily, but they feel with Rolly's style and whatever Ryan's bringing into the ring, if the fight is made, it should be a good fight. It should be a good fight. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Team Lopez. He made a very, very solid point. When you talked about the Mayweather effect and going over there and doing business. Business say, go get the WBA. And then if you choose to revisit with Devin Haney, the money will be bigger. The money will even be bigger if Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia fall for a possible WBO, WBA unification. You know what I'm saying? It'll even be a bigger fight. But Ryan Garcia has to pick up a title. And another thing that Tio said, what did he say about Ryan Garcia? He said, what he said about about worth. You know what I'm saying? Picking up a title. To pretty much for Ryan to build up, being a champion, a legitimate champion, to increase his value. By picking up that WBA title. Pretty much what I said with, about Ryan Garcia, it's pretty much he's exhausted all his avenues by winning these interim titles and fighting mediocre competition and trying to convince people that he's a money guy with no belt. And he said, no, belts matter. Belts matter now. That's one thing about Tio. Tio never said that belts didn't matter. But he said, with the Floyd Mayweather effect, Floyd tried to act like belts don't matter. But yet, obviously, Ryan is in the company of Floyd Mayweather. And all of a sudden, he resigns his interest to Devin Haney to go the WBA route. He resigns his interest to go the WBA route. So belts have to matter because Rolly has a belt. And who do you know helped Rolly get in that position right there? Floyd probably has something to do with that. This has probably been something in the making for quite some time, especially in certain Toney weeks in there to make sure he keeps that title so they can make some money off Rolly. See, Rolly is a company dude. Rolly did what he was supposed to do. If you go back to Connecticut, they awarded Rolly the Jackson Mariñez fight in Connecticut, clearly after he lost the fight. And then he gets his title shot with Gervonta, and they knew Rolly wasn't going to beat Gervonta. But he's a company dude. And plus, you know what I'm saying, they say he's a bit goofy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to get at, to be polite about it? And then he's stopped by Gervonta and goes up there and gets an immediate title shot. So for Ryan Garcia to go up there and scoop that up, who knows where he's going to go after that? Is he going to make a left or he's going to make a right? Who knows? I know he's not going to freaking fight Matias, but he has two names in Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. That's all I'm saying. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Salute. Salute. So, I agree with Teofimo Lopez and what he said. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? He do give great points. But overall, the talk of the town is, Mr. Ominous himself, Tony Weeks. I really don't know what's going on with Tony Weeks at the end of the day. But you can best believe if he's involved in a fight, a big fight, and coming up in a couple of months, you know there's controversy that lies in wake. He seems like he's, somehow sold himself. Like it's somehow he's crossed over. He don't care what people think. I pay real close attention to his face, man. He seemed like he don't have a care in the world. He know what he just did. He knew it was effed up, but he's not worried about repercussions, like I said yesterday, because when they make decisions like that, it's already predetermined. It was already predetermined. It was even seconds left in the fight. All these referees do is look for a moment. Do you remember the Barroso moment with Rolly? It was the same moment that we seen last night. When Rolly was supposedly throwing all these shots to Barroso, which wasn't landing, Weeks stepped in. Ortiz was over there throwing some shots, and some of the body shots was landing. Some was off the glove. But it was nothing that was so destructive that Lawson was just about to crumble. It was just getting warmed up. And the seconds was ticking. And goddamn Tony Weeks didn't hesitate. He came in there. It seems like this man is a part of something that has him just going in here robbing fighters. I mean, blatantly robbing fighters. This is looking sinister, bro. It's almost like he's proven to wherever he's going. I don't know if it's part of a new group he's with, initiation. I don't know, but Tony Weeks was considered to be a pretty thorough referee at one point in time. And just the fact that he robbed Rolando Romero, who's not one of my top millionth fighter in the world, you know what I'm saying? He did rob Barroso and gave the reward to Rolando Romero. You know what I'm saying? I'm not highlighting this because I like Romero. I'm highlighting this because clearly Romero wasn't doing anything that was so detrimental that Tony Weeks had to step in. Just like last night, Ortiz was in his punch combination. There was a barrage of punches, but not so much for Weeks to step in and stop the fight, man. This dude is he seemed to be on the dark side, as we used to call it in the Corps. You know what I'm saying? The dark side. Tony Weeks seemed to be on the dark side to me. And this is two fights that we remember. You know what I'm saying? We remember big time. Now it's a regularity. It's consistent. So whenever you see Tony Weeks on deck, you know there's going to be some controversy. You're going to have to look at who may be slated to win, and if the challenger is anywhere a 50-50 fight, that they may come in there and upset the apple cart. Tony Weeks is there to be the arbiter. He's there to be the mitigator. He's there to make sure the results turn out the way it was predetermined. And all it takes is for the referee to step in and stop the fight when there's an exchange good enough to sell it to the fans and stop the fight, and that's it. He ain't worried about no punishment. When that shit look, one thing I would tell the listeners, always remember this. These referees are not making these independent decisions on the fly. This is not an impromptu at the spur of the moment that they stop in these fights. This shit is predetermined in boxing. It's been that way for a long ass time. And it ain't going nowhere. These refs are not just coming up and saying, I'm going to stop the fight because I don't like this guy. No. This stuff is predetermined, bro. It's predetermined who they want to win. They're just waiting for the right moment. The right goddamn moment to make it happen. And that's what we see. Tony Weeks. Then turned over to the dark side. Screwing fighters over. You know what I'm saying? That was a hard okie doke Ryan pull for sure. Yeah, Ryan's pulled a lot of okie dokes, man. But all I'm saying to the people, be careful about Tony Weeks if you see him on deck and it's a big fight, especially you betting on the fight. Tony Weeks is definitely gonna kind of throw a wrench in there. He's gonna throw a wrench, and the craziest part about this boxing shit is that you get a matchup where it may be 50-50, but really if you add the ref in there, they're the ones who pretty much has the key. Yeah, on paper it might be 50-50 going in there on paper for the box rec and the fighters, but ultimately the referee has the key to basically burn those odds to the ground. No one else sees it. It's transparent. You know what I'm saying? You never actually see it happening, in a literal sense. But when you get a referee like Tony Weeks, you know what I'm saying, that would just stop a fight out of nowhere, you have to say to yourself, was it ever a 50-50 fight? You know what I'm saying? Because on paper they said this guy was a 50-50 fight. They come in here and beat this guy. But if you insert the referee into the equation and he's there to assist, you have a 2-on-1 special going on that no one knows. And it turns out to be a 90-10. The 10% is if that B-side fighter or the fighter that's not in the equation for the better good gets a knockout or something or a knockdown. And then he better knock him out, because if you get that one knockdown, like Barroso was able to do with Rolando Romero, and you get up and now the referee knows, hey, so-and-so ain't going to survive this, but I need that moment. I need that moment. Give me that one moment so I can step in. Rolando goes in there and land a barrage of punches on Barroso. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. That's all the referee was looking for. He just needed a moment to insert himself so he can sell the conclusion to the fight fans without them throwing chairs in the ring and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Without all-out brawl breaking out. That shit is real, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's on the dark side right now. Just like Lawrence Cole. Lawrence Cole is a vetted ref, though. Lawrence Cole, his pop was in the game, so he's vetted. You can get mad at Lawrence Cole all day long. He ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Nowhere. And last time I checked, where does Lawrence Cole referee majority of his fights? Where? Where does he? Help me out. Where does Lawrence Cole referee his fights? It's always one somewhere. It's always two somewhere. What does Lawrence Cole referee his fights, man? But I'm not going to spend too much time on this topic, man. I appreciate y'all for pulling up. You know what I'm saying? Bhop need to chill. Putting hands on the grown-ass man, especially with Bill Haney. I mean, something different is going to happen. You keep that shit up. You shove somebody, and have security. I mean, I don't know if this to build up the fight. Sometimes you can't understand what the play is in boxing. Sometimes you can't understand what the play is, because the promoters and managers get into it too. You can't understand. There's so much hocus pocus. I mention this all the time on boxing. The hocus pocus of boxing. It's so much hocus pocus going on that you don't know what's real and fake when it comes to drawing attention to the fight. Bhop pushing Bill Haney, was it genuine? Or to get more people to tune in? You know what I'm saying? To get more people to tune in and say, oh, man, we really want Ryan Garcia to fight Devin. We really want Devin to F up Ryan Garcia. Look at Bhop. I mean, the hocus pocus of boxing, shit like that's happened, man. I'm not lying. Shit like that can happen. You say to yourself, is it real or is it ain't? You either is or you ain't. Is it real or not? It can't be both. And I live by the hocus pocus of boxing. Are they trying to draw and keep more attention on this for a reason? Are they trying to build up some out of ring beef? Like this shit never stops. All right? Let me just zip this up this way. This hocus pocus never stopped. Just recently it was Tank all in the picture. It was Shakur all in the picture. It was Frank Martin all in the picture. Devin in the picture. Ryan's back in the picture. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and then Ryan is saying, okay, I'm going over here like he a boss. I'm going over here to fight Devin Haney. And people looking at him like, okay, Ryan, he doing some boss shit. Okay, boom. I'm sitting back. I'm saying, I know Ryan. I got to see an official fight day first. Sure enough, he pulls out. Now he want to go the route that I said he was going to take in the first place. He was going to take the easy route to pick up the belt. He's there now. This hocus pocus of boxing, man, it's not just the fighters who play that shit. It's the team too. It's other individuals. It's always an incident that has to happen, bro. You know, for people to try to build up and build up. It's a circus at the end of the day. It's a goddamn full-blown carnival. So some of this stuff that you see play out in front of you, you don't know if it's real or not. Or it's just to try to get some connection with the fans and say, I really want Ryan to fight Devin now. I really want Devin to fight Ryan. Look what Bhop did to Bill. You know what I'm saying? Bill has more supporters in the content game than Bhop. But when it comes to a promotional level, Bhop is with Golden Boy. And that's all they need is for people to start talking. And then when they see Ryan, I don't know if he's going to talk to media again. He with Floyd now. So Ryan may be off limits now. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Prima Donna himself. He might be off limits. But you talk to Ryan, people going to want to know what he think. You know? But Ryan is going to have this nonchalant attitude. I seen the residue of Floyd Mayweather when he fought Duarte. I said, oh, I seen him prior to that in the gym over there at TMT. I said, okay, he's over there with Floyd. I thought he was with Diddy James. I sure did. I thought he was with Diddy James. But I guess he was mixing it up. And I asked somebody this, right? This is the crazy part, because I give Floyd the credit for having Ryan patient and moving around the way to check this out. How I'm gonna leave it alone after this because it's kind of off the thumbnail topic, but this is the wild part about it. When I saw what Ryan was doing, I said that's not Diddy James right there. That's Floyd Mayweather. The reason why I said that is because Errol Spence is flat-footed, Ryan Garcia flat-footed. Both of them had similar styles was coming forward. We all know Errol Spence is a better boxer than him and Ryan Garcia. But all the years that Errol Spence was with Diddy James, he never made a change like that, not even heading into the Crawford fight, right? But yet we come in here and we witness Ryan Garcia fighting a totally different style. He's patient, he's moving, he's jabbing. That wasn't no Diddy James right there because we never seen that transition from Errol Spence himself. That's all I'm going to say on that. Peace, y'all. Hold it down. I'm out.
Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best, you gotta show me son. Actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports, talking way too much, world come back. Sports.